Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back. Happy to have you here as we look through replay broadcasts from Week 6. This time we're headed up to the Heroic Division as we see, oh no, it's not Cosmos and Regen. That's not accurate. It's Can't Connect Stuns and Psistorm Probes. Give me one moment, friends. Excellent. There we have it. I know the difference. So, like I said, Heroic Division match back in Week 6. We've got CCS taking on Psistorm Probes. CCS are in their second season in the Heroic Division at this point. They have previously spent a fair bit of time in the Nexus Division. And on the other side of the battleground, Psistorm Probes have been promoted all the way from Division B West in Season 18. So they've climbed a fair bit in their time. If you've already seen the series, don't tell me about it. I want to be surprised. I want to be excited. And let's take a look at our battleground selection here so we can see where we're headed for game number 1. Boom. Infernal Shrines. First battleground of the series. We saw bans onto Battlefield of Eternity and Braxis Holdout for CCS, with the Probes banning out Cursed Hollow and Towers of Doom. So without any further ado, let's get into game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Excellent. And we can introduce our teams here on the left in blue. We've got Can't Connect Stuns, Shredded Wind on Rhaegar, Eric on Hanzo, Slick Rub on Muradin, Domainski on Hogger, and Mockery playing Tychus. To the right in red, we've got Psistorm Probes, Velera on Junkrat, the Red Rook on Diablo, Yetiman 14 on Kel'Thas, Wolfinator on Dahaka, and Nimsy playing Anduin. As we get into the first wave of the game, we can take a look at our level 1 talents. It's Redemption for Eric on the Hanzo. Looking for auto attacks. Wolfinator eats the Staggering Blow, as well as some percentage damage from the minigun of Mockery. Other stacking talents, we've also got Yetiman looking for Globes with Mana Addict at level 1 and Enhanced Agility for Dahaka. Slick Rub sharing the Fire Love with Eric there. Mockery getting busy on this mid lane. It's a really heads-up rotation from CCS because it's going to allow Mainski to get that top wave and be in range to contest this bottom neutral siege camp. Otherwise, it would have been a 5v4 in favor of the Probes thanks to their global. We'll see if they get the global in here. There's the dig in. Red Rook on the point for as long as they can stand. The point is swapped over. Wolfinator digs in just to fall. An unfortunate turn of events for the Probes. It is difficult for Diablo to stand and deliver on those capture points with a Tychus on the enemy side. We'll see what we opt for at level 4 to augment that minigun damage. Already taking down a tower in mid lane. First objective will be in bot lane. It's a frozen Punisher. I feel like first is always frozen. Am I crazy? I don't think it was always frozen historically, but as of late, it seems like the first objective is always frozen Punisher. Anyone in chat know if that's true? Mockery has opted for Master Assassin at level 4, increasing the attack damage of their minigun and Commandeer Odin, and in general, just all attack speed. Both sides doing well to pay attention to their bruiser camps. Mainski a little late to the objective, opting to push that wave out before joining their team. Can't connect Suns really far ahead to their level 7s now. Wolfinator gets a huge drag. It's going to draw the Purge from Shredded Wind. Living bomb damage spreading all over the place. But CCS already up to 20, almost 20, Shrine Defenders. Another drag lands, this time onto Mainski. Rook follows up with the Shadow Charge and Overpower. That'll do it. Hogger, a lot of the objective clear for CCS taken out there. They're almost at 30 objective minions, so they're in a good position, but Psistorm probes are clearing or closing that gap pretty quickly. Up to 32 now. They just need to poke a little bit more. Wolfinator and Rook falling low. It's hard for them to zone. We've got 38 now in favor of CCS, and they'll secure it. They look for the takedown onto Shredded Wind. They'll trade out with Wolfinator. And losing their offlaner might continue to exacerbate their experience deficit here. They're 3,000 minion experience behind thus far. That's rough. Mainski gonna get a lot done here on the top side. Frozen Punisher doesn't get too much done. Valera and Yetiman cleaning that up pretty quickly. 2 takedowns apiece now for both of our teams. And an even talent tier. But still, a full level lead for CCS. That is a tricky spot for the probes to find themselves in. Mainski gets another rotation down. This is 5v4 in favor of the probes. Rook caught on the far side. A great leap of faith from Nimsy, but the level 1 quarterback from Mockery seals the deal. Another takedown, 3 in favor of CCS. I believe... yeah, it's... 2 takedowns on the Dahaka. And so, with the Mercenary Camp, the takedown experience, and everything else, CCS secure their heroics and the bottom fort. There's the gravity lapse onto Mockery, but CCS are going to scoot out to safety. For heroics, what do we have? We've got Commandeer Odin, Avatar, Dragon's Arrow, Ancestral Healing, and Shockwave. Wolfpack gets the drag, lands onto the tank. Eric eats the living bomb that Slick Rub so kindly delivers. But this Odin is out of range of the keep or fort while it sieges, so they're still gonna take some damage. The probes nearly at talent tier parity as Mainski just does the Hogger thing and auto attacks the fort for fun. I often joke that it's a permanently unstoppable hero, so why not go deep for that siege damage? And there we have heroics for the probes. We've got isolation for Wolfinator. Nimsy has opted for light bomb. APOC for the Red Rook. Valera with Riptire. And Yetiman still considering they're going to opt for Phoenix at level 10. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's just really hard to get value out of Pyro. Both teams, once again, in a good position for... Oh, this engagement, though. A great over-the-wall attack. Mockery booped back in. No more CC available. Wolfinator, they're going to chase Mockery down here, looking for the drag. They won't pull the trigger on it. Fascinating. So CCS near to their level 13s, Psistorm probes and CCS both with all of their heroics still online. Wolfinator trying to zone on this bot side. They're going to take a lot of damage from Eric while Mockery uses the... Oh, huge Dragon's Arrow onto Rook. Rook is going to fall here with the Hog Wild from Mainski. They'll have a quick respawn thanks to their Black Soulstone quest. Wolfinator, the target of Eric's auto attacks. They've got the serrated arrowheads, or what is that, sharpened arrowheads at 7 for the armor reduction. And so Dahaka's going to have to ski-daddle with all of that HP pressure. Tidal Waves at 13 for Shredded Wind. Hanzo is opted for Ninja Assassin. Interesting. Bronzebeard Rage, Pummel, and of course Neosteel Coating for Tychus. They're going to be able to deal with all of... Oh, great engagement from Slickrub. The potential was there, but the Storm Bolt goes just a little bit wide. Probes are able to once again jump the Punisher over the wall. Unfortunately, Valera is the one who eats most of that damage. Wolfinator has revealed themselves. They're looking for one more attempted drag. They get the dismount, but Slickrub gets an easy Dwarf Toss away. Level 1 quest for Yetiman complete. They've now got access to their Arcane Barrier, Mana Addict, giving them some amount of survivability, which will be certainly helpful, given how much reach CCS has with their engage range. Rook found in the bush there. They Shadow Charge in nonetheless. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Immediately fall. Eric onto Valera. That's going to be 2 takedowns. Make it 3 in favor of the probes. I'm sorry, against the probes. In favor of CCS. They once again have a well set up lane. They've got a catapult as well as the siege camp at their back. Slickrub jumping in with the avatar just to try and see if they can catch Yetiman sleeping. That's a 3-level lead for CCS. Slickrub jumps in once again with the Dwarf launch. Shredded Wind bites in as well. It's going to be a takedown. Rook could get a takedown onto Slickrub here, but they've got the Dwarf Toss out. That's all thanks to their level 16 Dwarf launch, giving them cooldown reduction as well as extra range. So first keep goes down for CCS. Yetiman will be back on the battleground shortly. The main ski, come hell or high water, is gonna get this top fort. Hogger is committed, and I can't say I blame him. Pings going out onto the Bruiser camp here in top lane. Stealing away this camp will deny a little bit of experience and vision control. Eric rips the Dragon's Arrow, doesn't connect. Red Rook, there's the Shadow Charge, draws the Purge. Slickrub falling low. A great interrupt on Valera's Riptire, but Mockery stuck around a little too long for it. They pop the spell shield, and it's enough with the Ancestral in time. A huge APOC lands. Yeti Man following up that damage. A great use of the Arcane Barrier. Wolfinator wants more. They're looking for one more drag. They're going to land it onto Slick Rub here. Red Rook certainly must have their CC available. But Slick Rub makes it out. In the end, only one takedown secure. Wait, Eric uses the agility over the wall. Too many of the probes were too low to continue the chase. Next objective has been announced. It's Arcane. It's up in the top lane. I love what Wolfinator is doing here. You gotta get value out of your global when you can. They don't have their Brush Stalker up yet, but I imagine they'll have it up shortly. And CCS continue to play their map advantage with aplomb, understanding that they've got lots of time to get the map prepped in their favor before they join Psistorm probes on this objective. It's going to give them even more of a lead towards their Storm talents. And it looks like they're willing to completely forego this objective phase. With a double siege camp in mid, they're going to try and take care of mid keep. There's the Earthbind totem. Mainsky gets the shockwave. Oh, a little bit of a mistiming on the trait. Even so, they get the kill. 17 Shrine defenders secured for the probes before they had to peel off to defend that mid keep. And now Eric on the Hanzo getting through plenty on their own. This is thanks largely to their level 4 explosive arrows, and they're joined by the rest of CCS with Storm talents in hand. What do we have? We've got Farseer's Blessing, Big Red Button, Rewind for Muradin, Bullseye for Eric, and No Control for Mainsky. Yeah, the hero experience definitely part of the equation, but with how much CCS have been running Battleground, their passive experience gain is also a big chunk. Their minion experience far outweighs that of the probes. They've gotten all of the mercenaries. They're really showing a commanding performance. There's the Bullseye follow-up. Slick Rub booped in. They're taking core aggro here. Wolfinator on the backside, looking for a drag onto Eric. They're going to be in full retreat. We've got the jump baited over the keep once again. I don't know what interrupted the Riptire there. It might have just been canceled. Mockery still with a little bit of juice on this Commandeer Odin. They're going to get through the final keep of CCS. 5v5. Slick Rub looks to be trying to bait an engagement. Huge Dragon's Arrow lands onto 3. Oh, the grenade boops them out of the follow-up. And there's the engagement, this time onto Mockery. They're able to pop the spell shield, and it's going to be enough. The takedown falls onto Velera, and there's another, this time onto Wolfinator. Rook trying to push the rest of CCS back, but Yeti Man once again able to dodge the stun from the Sonic Arrow, thanks to a little help from his friend Mockery. Slick Rub jumping out sub 1000 HP, but these catapults in bot lane are going to seal the deal. Game 1 going convincingly in favor of CCS. GG and well played. The takedown count definitely kind of tells the story here. Psistorm probes had a lot of trouble finding the takedowns that they would have liked in this first game. Part of that was excellent support play from Shredded Wind. some really timely purges to cleanse their allies. And CCS also had the advantage in that they were able to engage first a lot of the time. Slick Rub getting a lot of strong storm bolts from out of vision. So Psistorm probes have some questions to answer here in this series as we look towards game number 2. Alright. Speaking of game number 2, let's head over to our battleground selection and see where we will end up for that second game. Alrighty. Click through some menus. Alright, Tomb of the Spider Queen for game 2. Another vision controlling tight rotation heavy battleground. Wave clear of the utmost priority. It's always important. Heroes of the Storm is a game about killing minions, but this battleground incentivizes you to kill the minions because that's how you pick up the objective. Excellent game design. Let's get the replay all queued up. CCS's first draft could work again if they so choose. We'll see how the probes want to adjust, if they're going to make any adjustments as we get into game number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So enough of my yapping, let's do it. Here in the blue, looking to close it out 2-0, we've got Can't Connect Stuns, Shredded Wind on Rhaegar, Slick Rub on Muradin, Eric on Junkrat, the main ski on Leoric, and Mockery playing Tracer. To the right in red, looking for a little bit of redemption, and a game 3, we've got the probes, Psistorm probes. Valera on Vala, the Red Rook on Garrosh, Yeti Man on Tassadar, Nimsy playing Stukov, and Wolfinator on Dahaka. Wave clear seems comparable on both sides. Of course, CCS do have additional vision tools in the form of the Junkrat, and Mockery is on his signature hero, Tracer, so this could be a uphill fight for the probes. Mainski thrown in, and there's a boop follow-up onto Rook. First blood going over to CCS. That is a rough go of it. CCS also scale super well with the Leoric and Tracer. It's gonna be a tricky one for the probes to win out. Mockery trading freely with Valera here. Slick Rub tossed into the fort, but they still have the Dwarf Lunch to get out of dodge. CCS just slowing their opponent's rotations here, while Shredded Wind and Eric get busy on the left side bruiser camp. Wolfinator connects the drag. I imagine Slick Rub still has their Dwarf Toss. Perhaps not. They'll walk away. And with their wave advantage, CCS will continue the mercenary pressure with Eric taking care of this bottom neutral siege camp as well. Wolfinator waddled all the way up to top lane and has to dig bot to collect this experience. A well-timed bruiser camp from the probes means that they'll be able to defend CCS's bruiser camp without too much trouble. Wolfinator once again rotating up to mid means that Mainski is getting a lot of free time on the fort wall with their siege camp. Already through the first tower and most of that gate. Level 4 talents on both sides. Mockery has opted for Tracer rounds. I think a tech pick for the Battleground. Oh, huge silence catching Slick Rub there. Bite in onto Yeti Man from Shredded Wind, but everyone makes it out alive. Pulse rounds for Tracer at 4. Indomitable for Garrosh. Slick Rub finds Wolfinator with the Stormbolt. CCS have all the gems they need to turn in. They just have to buy a little space to do it. The main ski interrupting that rotation to bot lane. Wolfinator's holding on to 22 of Psistorm Probe's 40 gems. So a gank onto the Dahaka would be really detrimental to their economy. And we've got Tracer attempting just that. The Wolfinator will dodge the Pulse Bomb with an excellent time on the Burrow. They've gone for Hero Stalker at level 4 rather than Lurker Strain. So no cooldown reduction there. And Eric on the Junkrat will have nearly infinite stalls on this objective point. An early level 7 for CCS. And they continue to play this duo lane down here in bot. Wolfinator can't step up too safely. Mockery's just going to get more damage onto the bot fort, while CCS does their best to stall the robes from turning in on the top side. Wolfinator likely scouted here. They land the drag onto Mainski. I'm pretty sure Mainski still has their... Oh, big silence on the Slick Rub. They were so disciplined with the Dwarf Toss. They'll escape. All the while, Tracer's shooting your building. Bot fort down to half HP already. Wolfinator is able to get their gems turned in, so Psistorm Probes securing the first objective phase. They're trailing a little bit towards the heroic talent tier, though it's not too bad. Valera up to 20 stacks on fire at will. The main ski giving a quick hello to the Red Rook there. Yeah, it's all mercenary experience and structure damage that has the CCS squad ahead. Probes committing 4 heroes to mid lane, while Wolfinator uses the Brush Stalker to get up to the top. Red Rook lands the Earthshaker, or the Groundbreaker. Earthshaker is the throw. So they still have their toss. There's the boop in onto Red Rook, popping the Indomitable. Mainski gets a flank on the side. One more bite in from Shredded Wind, and that'll do it. Valera dodging the Stormbolt with a well-timed vault. But with that second takedown, CCS secure their heroic talents. We've got Ancestral Healing, Avatar, Riptire, Entomb, and nothing yet for Tracer. Oh, Mockery's doing the Dino thing and soloing boss. It's going to take a while, but they'll get through it. Really greedy set of camp takes here. 2 committed on the left side, and so Mockery will abandon the boss, and it will despawn in time, so the probes can't try and get that top lane pushed out. Mid lane cleaned up already by Mainski and friends. Slick Rub tossed in. There's the Entomb onto the Garrosh. A great black hole will get the War Chief out to safety. Slick Rub had to pop the Avatar there with how low they fell. We've still got Ancestral Healing available for CCS. What do we got here? Pulse rounds for Mockery, level 10. On the other side, Rain of Vengeance, not Taunt, but Decimate. Black Hole we saw, Flailing Swipes, and Isolation for the Garrosh. Bot fort has fallen extraordinarily low. I imagine with the wave that Mainsky's pushing out, that should seal that structure's fate. But they're able to save both mid and top lane forts on the side of the probes. There's a great unstoppable. They catch Slick Rub, but they still have the Dwarf Toss. Yeah, Rook continues to find engagements on the front line. One more Entomb will seal Wolfinator's fate. Nimsy trying to save the economy. Rook and Valera pick up the gems they need. Mockery falling low here. Eric gets his gems turned in on the top side. And CCS are well positioned for another objective phase. Shredded and Slick Rub both channeling on the bot turn-in. And that'll do it, with a talent tier lead to boot. Mockery working on the bottom siege camp. CCS continue to scale heavily. We've got an auto attack build for Leoric with Spectral Leech at 13. Gotta trap them all. Wolfinator caught in the Entomb. They've got the silence onto Mockery. Is it going to be enough with the Essence? Mockery still has the recall, so Tracer able to escape there. That looked like a close call, but Tracer is well known for being one of the slipperiest assassins in the game. Nimsy the target here. Oh, they took an unsafe rotation, and so they'll fall. Yeti Man, unfortunately, walls their friend out of the base. What do we have at 13? Jumper. Alright, fair enough. Yeti Man getting a second Psionic Storm thanks to their level 7 Psionic Echo. Slick Rub tossed in once again, but they still have the Dwarf Launch. Or Dwarf Toss, I should say. The Mainsky has gotten through the mid-keep wall. Top keep wall falling low here, but the tower survives. Take a look. Wolfinator gets the drag onto Slick Rub, who's able to Dwarf Toss away once again. 4 takedowns unanswered for CCS, as well as a superior minion experience. Means that they're well in the lead. Mockery starting up the boss once again. Do we have Oracle at 13? No, it's Shadowwalk at 13 for Yeti Man, so there's no great way for them to check it. And Shredded Wind, there's the toss in, silence follow-up, and that's a takedown onto Shredded Wind. Wolfinator gets the drag onto Mainsky, who still has their Wraithwalk. They're going to Wraithwalk away from the boss. Let's see how Mockery's doing on it. Yeah, that Tracer's going to finish it off. Psistorm probes none the wiser. It's so silly that Tracer can do this. The probes are going to get a lot of gems turned in, but CCS pick up the boss. Red Rook finding Eric, but they are able to boop themselves to safety. They pop the Riptire here. Lanes are in a decent position for Psistorm probes. Red Rook still has the Into the Fray available, rather. And with a level 16 talent tier advantage, it's going to be a quick cleanup on this objective. Wolfinator getting chased down by all of CCS, but they'll scoot out to safety. Eric and Mockery more concerned about saving their mid-fort. Wolfinator has the Brush Stalker available. They'll dodge the... Oh, but it means that they're in a lot of trouble. That's going to seal their fate. I think once Slick Rub throws the Storm Bolt, they've got to Brush Stalker away if they want to live. It's easy to say that from the backseat, and in hindsight. Top 4 taking a lot of damage here. It's 4v5 with the collapse onto Psistorm probes. Man, 20 gems booped away. Eric defends the gems. Nimsy booped in. Slickrub finds them. Valera chased down by Mockery. Yeti Man will escape unless Eric gets the interrupt. Oh, this Junkrat's a menace. They'll get a little bit more damage onto the keep. Stat pad their hero damage a little bit. Wolfinator has continued to collect experience, so they're at talent tier parity. What do we have at 16? Punishment. So more W's more often, up to 38 stacks on Fire at Will at level 1 for Vala. Mainski up to 77 stacks on their level 16 Mithril Mace. So that attack speed really ramping up. Leoric becoming a real threat on the siege damage front. Yeah, CCS are going to focus their push here with the spell armor from their bruiser camp. Redbrook caught by the Earthgrass totem there. Keep taking a lot of damage here. Still a relatively healthy Webweaver. Both side lanes have already lost their objectives. Wolfinator cleaning up that bot lane. And the positioning from CCS continues to be immaculate. Their assassins never in range of the War Chief. So they've only ever had the opportunity to engage onto the very safe targets of Muradin. There's the silence on the Muradin. Redbrook holding the point as best they can. Leoric finishes off. They get the spell armor. Garrosh goes down. Stukov is next to fall. Wolfinator falling low here. We've got Storm Talents for CCS. They'll chase down the Haka. Mockery and Eric falling low. Slickrub tanking the keep with Avatar available. Mockery opting for Total Recall at level 20. They get the Pulse Bomb landed onto Valera. They've got the Assassins available. These are the heroes you want to de-push, but 2v5 are long odds nonetheless. Mainski is going to zone the Vala off. Eric and Slickrub and Mockery and Shredded Wind, all with their auto attacks, will finish off the core. A 2-0 in favor of CCS. GG and well played to the home team. In the end, the turn-in objective control that Junkrat allows, Mockery on his signature hero, there was a lot that CCS had going for them, and it allowed for this convincing win here in Game 2. Anything out of the ordinary on the builds. A bit of a surprise to see Decimate into Muradin and Leoric, who have those unstoppable buttons. Tracer as well, with Blink and Recall. Yeah, the slow fights that you get out of Decimate didn't seem to work in Psistorm Probe's favor. Only ever able to secure that one takedown on Shredded Wind. We can kick over here to our end of match wrap up, and update the scoreboard to reflect CCS's 2-0. It looked clean, looked mighty clean. I'm curious to see what the current division standings are. So we'll pop over there. All right, Psistorm probes down at 12th, so bottom of the table. CCS not too far ahead of them, however, at 9th place. So perhaps one of their stronger showings thus far this season, as far as game dominance is concerned. Games 1 and 2 both heavily in their favor. They controlled the rotations well and played around vision. And that was really all she wrote. So that'll do it for me for the day. This is the third and final series that I'm going to be broadcasting. Thanks to everyone who tuned in for the midday broadcast. Always happy to have folks show up and support the community, cheer for the teams. Another shout out to the volunteer staff at NGS who make this league a reality. And last but not least, a huge shout out to all the artists, programmers, and musicians whose work I feature here on the stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions. You can find links to all of their work below the video here, as well as coming up in a credit roll after I sign off. Until next time, friends, good luck and have fun out there. Peace and love.